Hello and welcome to Covfeed's 10-minute TikTok news bomb, where we run through the news you have said you wanted to hear more about. We know this because we surveyed you through our social media and you have voted for these stories. The next 10 minutes will include the latest update on Russia and Ukraine, whether your local Santander bank is closing, a delayed return from space just in time for summer in the UK, a celebration and criticism of all things chocolate, and finally a special guest who's going to analyse the crazy world of this TikTok and social media. I'm Becca Peden, bringing you today's most wanted news. We're keeping an eye out on Ukraine, where a lot has been happening lately. Whether it's political developments, updates from the front lines, or stories from people on the ground, it's been a busy few days. We'll break down what's going on, give you the latest updates, and hear from some voices directly affected by the situation. Plus, our reporter Joseph Banks will be taking a look at how people around the world are responding and what this could mean moving forward.
So, what's going on with the war in Ukraine, and why is Trump cutting support for it? This issue as a whole has a long political history. Ukraine, a former territory of the USSR, was invaded in 2022 by Russian President Vladimir Putin, and the subsequent conflict has claimed over 12,000 civilian lives since 2024. Putin claimed that the special military operation, which he called it at the time, was to deal with the neo-Nazi Ukrainian president Volodymyr Zelensky, who, by the way, is Jewish. He also falsely accused Ukraine of developing nuclear weapons in violation of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. In recent weeks, US President Donald Trump has withdrawn intelligence support for Ukraine and cut spending and aid packages before returning these privileges later on down the line, and publicly sided with Russia in stating that Ukraine had been the aggressor of the war. More worryingly is that the US recently voted against a UN resolution that would condemn Russia for starting the war in Ukraine, signifying a clear foreign policy shift from the previous Biden administration. These changes began following a meeting between the US and Russia that took place in Saudi Arabia about how to end the war without consulting Ukraine during these meetings. However, the potential for a full-on ceasefire is difficult to quantify, as both Russia and Ukraine have diametrically opposed stances on what they would require for a ceasefire to be agreed upon. A key condition laid out by Putin was the end of US support for Kiev, while Zelensky demands that troops maintain their positions in Russia's Kursk region, as Russia already controls 20% of Ukraine's territory. Due to these factors, many European countries are bolstering their support for Ukraine, whilst increasing their own defence spending in anticipation of a future Russian conflict, which may see the US not participate or help its allies as much as it would have in the past. But with Trump's volatile nature, predicting the future of the war is difficult, so who knows what will happen next?
Now, travel delays have affected all of us, but what if your delay was for 9 months and you ended up stuck in space? Our reporter Adam Stockbridge tells us more.
Last night, the American astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Butch Wilmore returned from their 9-month-long voyage into the stars. Hundreds of thousands watched from home as the crew of SpaceX Flight Crew 9 touched down in the Gulf of Mexico following a 17-hour journey home. The space flight was intended to last for just 8 days as a test flight for the new Boeing Starliner capsule. Due to a technical malfunction with the vehicle, it was deemed unsafe for the crew to return aboard the capsule, and so Sunita and Barry would have to wait until another spacecraft could be launched to bring them back home. The pair completed 900 hours of important research while on board the space station, with astronaut Sunita Williams becoming the most experienced female spacewalker in the world during this time, accumulating a total of 62 hours outside the vessel. The astronauts received a hero's welcome, but their ordeal shows that we are far from mastering space. It shows that things can, and often do, go wrong. Their bravery and resilience show the true qualities of an astronaut. Their return isn't just a triumph of technology, but of humanity's relentless drive to explore the unknown.
And how often do you go into your local bank? As our next story from Harrison Pierce may change this.
Santander has announced it is set to close 95 banks across the UK, putting 750 jobs at risk. The High Street Bank said its customers were increasingly shifting towards online banking. and it was aiming to start closing almost a quarter of its branches in June. As part of the changes, Santander will reduce the hours to 36 branches in total and remove the front counters out of 18. It is the latest bank to announce branch closures, with Lloyds announcing they'll be closing 136 in January. Santander has said the closures were due to a rapid movement of people moving towards online banking. The closures will leave Santander with 349 banks, down to 444. The customers of Santander in Coventry will be extremely disappointed, as there's only one left in the city centre. Local people of Coventry will have to either do online banking, visit a post office, or move to a new bank entirely.
And joining me today in the studio is Abby May. With over 150,000 followers across her social media platforms, Abby is an expert in all things content creation.
I get questions all the time asking where my chunky gold rings are from. I'm finding it at the shop, so I'm going to show you guys because I've wanted more jewelry.
Stand up. Stand up.
Wait!
So I can
You're pushing me too high!
So first of all, I just want to ask you, what inspired this to begin with? Where were you? How old were you? How it started?
I was a big fan of American YouTubers. I loved all the DIY videos, everything like that. And instead of watching it and just enjoying it, I was like, I want to be like these people. So it started on YouTube years and years ago. And then obviously TikTok's a new big thing. So I've gone over to there and I just have it as a hobby, and now it's a career, which is amazing. So yeah, I just really enjoy creating content. It's just my biggest passion of mine. So yeah.
And you started when you were really young as well. Was it year 9?
Yeah,
I
so
remember
quite
you saying.
young, yeah.
It's insane. And also, I know it's your full-time job as well. And now that it is your full-time job, you're doing this day in, day out. And how do you experience burnout when you feel like you don't want to get up, put makeup on, film content? How do you combat those days where you don't really feel like filming anything?
I feel like everyone has those days anyway, whether it's at work or not. So I feel like I've just learnt to balance it out. So days where I don't really want to film, because obviously everyone has days where they feel quite insecure and I'm like, I don't really want to be on a camera today. I just make sure I'm planning content or emailing brands and things. So the world of social media, people just think it's content creation when actually there's so much more to it, like going to events, emailing, planning, like a lot of planning goes into it. So yeah, I just make sure days where I'm feeling like that, I just do something else and just take it easy, because I know that I'll have a day where I'm more passionate about making content. So I like to just spread my week out just to balance everything out and make sure I get it all done.
And it's good because it means that you can be completely creative and you get to choose your own.
And I feel like when you have days where you don't want to do content, it's not going to come off well, like on camera. So I just make sure I step back and don't do content on the days where I don't feel like it, because otherwise it just doesn't look that good anyway.
No, that's a really interesting perspective. And another thing that comes with online content is criticism. How do you deal? You've got over 150,000 followers, so there must be some trolls in your comments. How do you deal with these people?
So I'm quite lucky. I don't get that much hate. I'm quite careful with what I post. I don't post anything offensive or anything like that. So I feel like I'm really careful anytime I post a video anyway. But obviously everyone gets the odd hate comment and stuff. But what I tend to do is look at them and see their following, because usually there's no profile pictures, 0 following, and I'm like, they're definitely a robot or something. So I don't let it get to heart. But when they do have a following, I like to just think it's just jealousy or something, because people that tend to hate on you, I mean, they've watched the video, they obviously want to be doing what you're doing. That's how I see it. So even if they're not, I like to just pretend they are, just to make myself feel better, and that's where I do
Any sort of traction is
I'm like, they're just jealous of me, it's fine. So
no, exactly. And also, because it feels like you've been doing this forever, but also it feels like social media and TikTok has been a whole whirlwind in these past few years.
Yes.
Where do you think it's going to go in the next 5 years? How do you think it's going to change?
So I feel like with brands, they really admire YouTube, and I think that is definitely the main platform that you can get more money on. Like I feel like your followers love you more if you do YouTube, because they get to see more of like behind the scenes and things. So I think YouTube is going to make a comeback, and I think that's definitely going to be a social media platform that sticks. I think TikTok for the next few years will still be really successful, and I feel like it will die out eventually, because I feel like there's going to be a new app or something. So I like to just jump on things that are trending and stuff, and just hope that I just stay with the pattern of how social media adapts and things like that.
Definitely, and it's been an ongoing topic in the media this week with the new Netflix series Adolescence coming in. Our reporter George Cooper is here to give us an overview.
So we seriously have to talk about Adolescence on Netflix, because this show is blowing up. It's already got 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, and critics are calling it one of the best crime series of the year. And I couldn't agree more. Carol Midgley from The Times called it brilliant. The way it's shot pulls you right into the story. However, what really stands out though is how the show is highlighting the dangers of exposing young men to harmful and derogatory content online. Not just a crime drama, it's making a powerful social statement. Adolescence is taking over social media right now. From TikTok to Reddit, people can't stop talking about it. Fans are sharing everything, from emotional reactions to theories about the storyline. That therapy scene, it is definitely sparking some deep, deep discussions. Okay, so if you're looking for your next crime drama to dig your teeth into, definitely give Adolescence a shot.
It's definitely a series which is relevant to all of us who use social media. I mean, I absolutely loved it. Have you seen it?
I've not seen it, but I have seen it all over my For You page, so I feel like I need to give it a go.
And as somebody whose job is in social media, what do you think could be done for more regulation for young people? How could it be combated?
Well, I think advertising content like that should be more age regulated, because people under 18 shouldn't really be seeing that, and yet it's so easy to on social media, so more age regulations, definitely.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Abby. And now to some chocolate. And when watching a series like this, you definitely need a bar of some comfort chocolate, which leads perfectly to our next story, which is a celebration of International Chocolate Day. Our resident American reporter, Jerson Allenday, brought some international students from America into the studio earlier today to see if they could figure out which chocolate is which.
Hello, welcome to International Chocolate Week here at Covfeed. I hate the smell and taste of chocolate, but join us as we interview fellow Americans about their experience with international chocolate.
There's an initial here, but I don't know what it stands for.
No,
It looks like milk chocolate, but then again, I'm not sure. Okay, it's kind of country. No, crunchy.
Oh, it's really good. Like little bits of, I don't know, crunchy things. I don't know what it is, but it tastes good.
Galaxy.
Carberry.
Okay.
I think it's Galaxy because I saw an initial one. This tastes familiar. It's like a wafer inside, chocolate covered wafer.
Yeah, it tastes familiar.
Okay.
The crunchiness inside.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes the wafer.
Okay.
I like it too.
I like the shape of this one.
Okay.
Okay, there's filling inside.
Mm-hmm.
Also tastes really familiar.
Yeah. Very similar,
Mm-hmm.
but this one tastes better, I think. Aftertaste.
Mm,
The aftertaste is
especially that.
pretty good.
Okay.
Reese's.
Reese's. Okay.
However, it's not just chocolate we've been looking at. It's also been a very exciting week this week with International Chicken Day being celebrated, with the Covfeed team today ranking their favourite chicken wing flavours. Let us know if you agree.
Right, we're going to be ranking chicken wing flavours as part of, what's it? National Chicken Day. So we love a bit of chicken here, so we're going to be ranking our favourite flavours, starting with teriyaki.
It's alright, isn't it? It's a bit mid.
It is a bit boring.
Yeah.
It's a boring flavour.
I'll say 5.
I'd say 5,
Yeah.
respectably. Cajun, not a fan.
Me neither, I've never had it. So
I'm not a fan of Cajun. I'll
I'll
put,
put like 7 or 8 for me. Who really
I
cares?
think it's that
Who
low.
cares? Who cares?
may get some slack. Jerk,
Ooh,
2.
yes.
2 or 1.
Yeah.
Which one we put in?
Second. There's
Second.
one that beats it for me.
Jerk is just, can't be
Barbecue,
stopped.
oh, that's got to be third. That's one of the best flavours.
Barbecue's
Yeah.
brilliant, love it. Lemon pepper, see that's a
Oh,
boring flavour.
That is bottom of the barrel for me.
Why would you want lemon pepper chicken? That's
If
going
you
straight
order
at
that
9.
At Nando's, get in the bin.
Yeah, spicy Korean. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's
Don't mind.
alright. It's alright.
I
Can,
don't
you
think
can you handle your spice though, man? That's the real question.
I can handle my spice.
Can you?
I just don't think it's top 5. I'd say 6.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy
6?
with that. Yeah, sure thing.
It's on your head. Buffalo. I like a bit of buffalo wings.
Do ya? Do ya?
That must be 4.
4?
I think we've got. Come on,
No,
it's got to be
that
4.
Might be 8.
Buffalo at 8.
I feel like there's other flavours.
Mmm.
You don't know what's going to happen next,
Oh, but I really like buffalo.
do ya?
I love buffalo wings.
Go on then, put it forth.
Put 4.
Yeah, what's this?
Mango habanero.
Oh, what the heck's that, mate?
Oh,
I've never had this before.
I like that though.
I'll leave it to you, but I might say 8.
I think we've got to save the 1 spot just because
Yeah,
there's
we
better
have to,
flavours.
we have
So
to.
8.
There's one for me that goes top tier.
Garlic
and that
palm
is not
dead
it.
last.
That is
That's
not
dead
it.
last.
Put it in the
Southern
bin.
fried
There
chicken.
we
There we go.
KFC wins all day, every day.
KFC's a top tier chicken.
Thank you, thank you.
Top tier chicken's right there. Our ranking's correct.
I'm happy
Perfect.
with that list, to be honest with you. We smashed it.
Yeah, smashed it. Happy National Chicken Day.
We'll leave those two guys fighting about their favourite chicken wing flavour. However, one team that is not looking to chicken out of our fight is Coventry City, as our sports correspondent Harrison Pearce reports.
Since Frank Lampard took over managerial duties of Coventry City in November, he has won 13 of his 23 games in all competitions. The former Everton boss won 9 games in a row out of 10, only losing to Leeds United. When Lampard took over 3 weeks after Mark Robins left, Coventry was 17th in the Championship, 10 points from the playoff spots and 2 points above the relegation zone. Coventry City are currently sitting 5th in the Championship, and they'll be facing a Sheffield United side who are fighting for an automatic promotion. Doug King has already shown ambition in the January transfer window with the new £6 million signing, Matty Grimes, who has fit into the team seamlessly. The midfield maestro has brought defensive steel and the winning mentality to the side. As Frank Lampard pulled off the great escape, he'll be setting his sights on a top 6 finish. The Sky Blues are currently on 59 points, with 4 other teams in Bristol City, Middlesbrough, Blackburn Rovers and Watford all below them trying to fight out for a playoff spot. With 7 games left of the regular season after the international break, will Coventry City find the momentum to fight for promotion? Frank Lampard has Championship playoff experience with Derby County in his first managerial season, where he reached the finals but unfortunately lost to Aston Villa. The Sky Blues fans respected Mark Robins after getting them 2 promotions and reaching the semi-finals of the FA Cup last season. Many fans will be hoping for playoff action once again alongside another day at Wembley. So let's see if the Sky Blues boss can overtake the longest EFL serving manager in Mark Robins and get Coventry City promoted to the Premier League.
Also in sport, we have some breaking news from the Formula One paddock. We had Matt Haldane to give us the rundown.
Breaking news out the F1 paddock this morning. Formula One's chief executive, Stefano Domenicali, has met with the Prime Minister of Thailand to discuss plans for a new street circuit in Bangkok. Thailand's Prime Minister, Paetongtarn, said the government would commission a feasibility study into the possibility of a race in the capital from 2028. However, there is an already existing track in northeast Thailand in Buranam, which is accredited already by the FIA and the governing body for world motorsport. But Domenicali has described the plans for 2028's street circuit as impressive. Paetongtarn also said that he believes that the Thai people will benefit from organising this event, whether it is a large-scale infrastructure investment, as it will create jobs, create new income generation, and it will import new technologies and innovations into the country. If the new race does get added in 2028, it will make the season go from 24 races to 25.
And you may not know it, but a World Cup has been taking place in Coventry today. Teams from around the world have been in the city to play kabaddi, a South Asian contact team sport which dates back almost 4,000 years. It's the first time the event has taken place outside Asia. And we sent Lorena Bomb to see what all the fuss is about.
Here with the Kabaddi World Cup here in Coventry. Kabaddi is an Indian sport based on physical contact between 2 teams of 7 players. The CBS Arena is hosting India, Poland, Scotland, China, the USA and England today. Around 1,000 visitors eager to discover the new sport here in Coventry.
Let's play Kabaddi!
The basic rules of Kabaddi are simple. Players from each team take turns running to the other team's half of the court, tagging their members and running back. Day 2 of the tournament is here, and the world's top Kabaddi players are going head-to-head in an electric atmosphere on Coventry's mat. We asked Alex Ogden, part of the England team, how he felt before facing the Americans this afternoon.
Nervous, yeah. Well, confident and nervous. USA are a good team, they're a big team, they're not really, really strong guys, so I think that's definitely a strength for them. But equally, we've trained really hard, and I think, we're probably the favourites in that match, so I think we're confident, but we have to be very, very careful and treat them very seriously. I think Harry is our captain and our cover. He's one of our strongest players, both kind of mentally and physically, so if they've got some really big, talented guys, he will be crucial for us in stopping their raiders. Yeah.
In the women's division, India crushed Poland 104-15, England edged China 45-39, and in the men's match, Scotland triumphed over Italy 89-33. England delivered an impressive performance, defeating the USA with a dominant 87-20 victory.
A very exciting week of sport, but let's find out now with our reporter Matt Haldane if the sun will be shining for the rest of the week.
Brace yourself, Coventry. Temperatures are set to reach the highest of the year on Thursday, hitting a warm 17 to 19 degrees. With the temperature hitting this high, Coventry is set to be hotter than tropical places such as Ibiza, Cyprus and other parts of Europe. However, at the weekend, rain and heavy cloud will dampen the weather and the mood, with temperatures only reaching 12 degrees. For now though, get the sunscreen on and enjoy the sunshine.
Well, I hope you guys got all the updates that you wanted for today, and a big thank you to our special guest Abby for coming in and talking to us as well. For more news and food lover stories, visit Covfeed and let us know what other stories you'd like to see. That's all from us. See you next time.
Wow.